Welcome. Welcome to the Lamonts G Custom Live Show. I'm your host, Harvey Lamont Ritchie, coming to you on this day, January the 11th, 2026. Today is the exact opposite of what yesterday was. I mean, the exact opposite. You have bright skies, no clouds in the sky, sunshine. It's a little cold outside. It's a little bit crisp. Wind blowing. Yesterday, overcast, stormy, rainy. The kind of day I actually kind of love, as long as I'm at home and I can sleep. But it's just the exact opposite. But today is the Lord's Day, Sunday, and I just want to do this show because I heard, actually I saw Room 9. I don't know if y'all familiar with Room 9. The great Antoine Daniels, he have a couple of different things he does. Damn, did I say that right? He have a couple of things that he do as far as like podcasts and shows, etc. And one of them is Room 9. Room 9 consists of a panel. You have three or four guys, you have four or five women, and they talk about everything under the sun, and everybody give their perspective. Kind of sort of what I want to do, and I can't get anybody on board with me. But they had this panel yesterday in Room 9, and they played two videos. And that got me, it really, I don't know, emotionally it does something to me because I'm the type of person, if you call yourself a friend, if you exhibit the ideals and the same concepts as me, and you consider yourself a friend, and we have the same convictions and the same strengths, then pretty much you're going to be a friend for life, unless you or I, do something. Now, I'm not going to do anything to end it, but if you do something in it, and it only takes one time, it's pretty much going to be done. But if everything is cooling on up and up, hell, we pretty much going to be friends for life. And I got, ooh, two handfuls of those individuals on earth that I could actually say that, even though they got families, I have families, I got everyday things, they got everyday things, so we don't talk and keep up with each other on a regular basis, but we're there for each other if we need to be. That type of person. So they played this video, and this woman, and I'm gonna read from the notes a little bit. This young lady, 20, 30 some years old. I don't think she gave her age, but she said for years, her and this female has been there for each other, ride or die, best friends, and normally come around. I think Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, kind of all group up into that little time frame. And she said, "Hey, what did you do for your anniversary?" The girl said, "Hey, we went for dinner. And he bought me, some jewelry. Went to a movie and did this and did that." So the girl got mad. Called out her name and said, "Girl, that's mediocre. This dude makes plenty of money. Your man makes plenty of money, and you deserve better. You deserve this and you deserve that." So I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna put a pin in that right there, and I just want to say, and thank you, AT&T. I know I owe you money. You gonna get it. I'm gonna put a pin in it right there and say, number one, let's just say I'm talking to my best friend. Hey, bro. What you and your wife do? Oh man, we went out to dinner, went to a movie. What did she give you? Oh man, she gave me some underwear, and some socks. Now, as a man, first of all, it's none of my business. I'm not gonna go there ever. It's none of my business. But let's just say for these sassy Negroes, these messy Negroes of men, you go there. Okay, cool. You know what you get her? You got some jewelry, you got some flowers, blah blah blah. Okay, y'all had a nice anniversary. No man is gonna say, "Hey, bro, you deserve better than a t-shirt and some socks. You deserve better than this and that." Men ain't gonna go there. That's number one. Let's get back into the story. So the friend was highly upset, and she did a reaction video. Now, these folks, you got to realize they live on the internet. They put all their business out there. So I don't feel bad commenting on it because you put your business out there. But first of all, and I got to give her credit because she said, first of all, this is my husband. This ain't some random Negro. This is my husband. Yeah, my husband make damn good money, but he's investing in our future, my family's future, our children's future. Therefore, I don't care if he buy me flowers and take me out to dinner because I know that he's creating generational wealth. I don't want to go on a $5,000 trip. When that $5,000 this time next year is going to be 10,000 because he's investing it. So therefore, flowers, candy, and a movie is good for me. And stay out of my business. That's my husband. You don't have a husband. I have children. You don't have children. And which brings me to think, man or woman, female or male, that's dicey when you married and your best friend is single. That's kind of dicey, especially for men. If I'm married, I'm going to a club with my best friend, which I don't club, but let's just, for the sake of this conversation, we say, yeah, man, let's go to the bar, let's go to the club, dude. What's your purpose going to the bar? What's your purpose in going to the club? Yeah, to get something to eat, get some good food. Man, possibly. To see some folks you ain't seen in a while. Yeah. But let's be realistic. You going there to get some tail. Well, at least he is. And if he puts you in that position, what do you think is going to happen? And I think on a smaller scale, it's the same with females because she said, and I think it was in the beginning of the Friends video, that they take luxurious trips together, $20,000 to $25,000 trips, cruises, Bora Bora, Dubai. To each his own. Do what you do. But I think the response of the married friend was correct, spot on. I agree with it 100%. Now, on the panel that was discussing these after the second video was shown, and it may have been a third of the friend, the unmarried friend, reacting to the married friend's reaction. And I don't think I watched that. If I did, I can't remember. But then the panel started weighing in. And I think Anton started out with the female perspective. Because for the first 10 to 15 minutes of the panel, room 9, the guys were like, and me too. And I'm listening to this. I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? What the hell are we talking about? First of all, it ain't none of your business what my husband does for me. Or it's none of your business what her husband done for her. Let's put it to you like that. It's none of your business. Best friends or not. It's none of your business. So I can look at the guys and personally, I'm like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? But as females, oh my goodness, they went in, and I think it was 4 or 5 females on this panel. Every one of them had a 30-minute response and reaction, and I'm not finna get into all that. But this is my point to this whole video. Women are messy. This is not a new concept. This is not a new thing. Matter of fact, dates back to the beginning of time. When God created the world and He created man, He created woman. What the first thing that Eve do? Hmm? It goes back to the Bible. It goes back to Genesis. Women are messy. We love them. We respect them. We honor them. But women are freaking messy. I don't have a favorite of the 5 females that was on the panel because they was all going in. Now you had 1 or 2 that made it a little bit more complicated, deep diving. And listen, in person, in real life, yeah, that conversation, especially for women, need to be a deep dive. But for men, we still scratching our head. What are we talking about? Best friends or not, it's none of her business. What that woman's husband did for her for their anniversary, it's none of their business. None of her business. Period. And I think that was the reaction from everybody that was on the panel, all the females on the panel. But they did let it be known, and I guess they get a better perspective of situations dealing with women because they're women. They can see from that side, and that's why it was interesting to me. Because as a man, I'm like, what are we talking about? What are we doing? Miss me with all that. But you hear from women, and boy, you get a clear perspective on how that female mind thinks. And when you have 4 or 5 different female perspectives, but they all pretty much coming to the same conclusion, it was actually beautiful. Now, I don't deal with mess. I've said it before and I said it again. I don't deal with mess. I don't deal with what somebody else doing in they house. I don't do that. But it is good to get a different perspective, and you can just like an investigator, which I was, and I to this day I still love putting puzzles together. When you get that perspective and you hear something, you can pretty much come to a conclusion just by knowing these little minute things about women and how they think and how they go about doing things. And I was pretty enlightened yesterday. I really was. I'm gonna start watching more of the Room 9 panels. I got onto it probably about 6 months ago. Just I guess the algorithm took me there, and I was like, wow, because believe it or not, during my first marriage back in the mid to late '90s, we actually had something similar. There wasn't. I think it was on like if you had a little money, you in your computer, your little box computer on your desk had the camera, which I can't remember if we had one or not. But you got the audio, and I think the platform was Yahoo, and it was like a group chat. You talking to people across the world, um, in the moment in real time, and like I said, if you got the money, you can see folks. If not, then you're just hearing voices, and we actually enjoyed that. I can't remember what particular reason, other than just to talk to people, other people, get other perspectives, and etc. But yeah, it's nothing new. Um, but when I first saw Room 9, it kind of took me back to that moment. When in the early days where you could talk to people, have that conversation. Now you got streaming, we got real time. With platforms like YouTube and other streaming services, and it's nothing now. It's nothing whatsoever. Back then, it was kind of rare. Um, but yeah, if hey, check out Room 9 if you're into that type of thing. Um, a panel of 5 women, 6 women, 2 or 3 guys, 4 or 5 guys, and they just talk about things that are going on in the world. I think he did. They did a show on the situation that's happening in Minneapolis, and surprisingly, these guys like, listen, stay away from that. Stay away from that. You got crazy, deranged people that are putting themselves in danger. Don't be an idiot like that. Don't be a test crash dummy. And I agree 100%. Don't be. Everybody gave their perspective on that situation, and like I said, it was a beautiful show, and really enjoyed it. But yeah, listen, I'm curious on what you guys think on on that. I'm not into mess, but stay out of other folks' business. Stay out of other folks' business. That's not only a man's perspective; it should be a human perspective. Listen, I appreciate the gift of life that God has given us throughout the centuries, throughout time. But I do question the brain power of man. I know we have superior brains over animals and species and trees and plants, but I'm gonna tell you something. In about 4 or 5 months, the grass is gonna be greener, leaves gonna be start coming up on the trees. It's gonna get a little warmer. 3 or 4 months after that, it's gonna be dog hot. We're gonna be cutting grass every other day. Gonna get isolated storms and showers every day. The grass is gonna get, like I said, grow a little faster. Flowers bloom, and nuts and fruits and berries coming out. And then like 3 or 4 months after that, the grass is gonna get brown. Gonna go to sleep. The trees gonna lose the leaves. Get ready to hunker down for winter. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it hasn't changed since the beginning of time. But humanity, I think we get a little bit more stupid, a little bit more dumb as the hours go by. Not as the days or the weeks or the months go by, as the hours go by. Humanly, human, humans, we get a little bit more dumber, a little bit more stupid every second, every hour. Because when the trees and the grass know to go to sleep or to wake up, to bloom, it's like humanity, we ain't worried about blooming and going to sleep and hibernating. No, we worry about what the Jones is doing over here. Why that tree ain't lost its leaves yet? We need to go there and investigate. No, leave that damn tree alone. That tree know what to do. You worry about your tree. You worry about you blooming and you hibernating. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, I done said enough. I was just intrigued by that. And check out Antoine Daniels' Room 9. And I'm going to get on up out of here. It's sunny outside and it's cold, but I'm going to put me a hoodie on and go ahead and do a little walking, get a little exercise in, and enjoy the rest of the day. But you guys be blessed. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Holy Trinity. I love you and I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Peace.